The House Select Committee investigating January 6th will soon hold primetime public hearings on what led up to the insurrection, who was behind it, and how close we came to losing our democracy. And at the same time, the Justice Department is moving along its own track, including with a federal grand jury now indicting the former chairman and 4 other members of the Proud Boys for seditious conspiracy in the attack. These are among the most serious charges so far in the Justice Department's probe. And the New York Times is reporting that the Proud Boys will also be a central character in the House committee's narrative about the attack and Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election based on sources familiar with the matter. Here to break this all down is our guru for Jan 6, Glenn Kirshner, MSNBC legal analyst and former federal prosecutor. So Glenn, a lot of people probably remember when Donald Trump said at the first presidential debate to the Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. And now 5 members of that exact same group are indicted with charges of seditious conspiracy. Help us understand why this is important, how it may or may not tie into Trump and what his allies were doing around January 6th, and whether or not you think it's significant that there is another set of seditious conspiracy charges coming in conjunction with the ones we've previously seen around the Oath Keepers.
You know, Zerlina, it's pretty clear that the Proud Boys took seriously their command, their directives, their order from Donald Trump to stand by until the time was right. You know, I maintain we can look at 3 data points, Zerlina, and it really does make clear Donald Trump's criminal responsibility for what the Proud Boys did, when they decided to do it, and where they decided to do it. Because those 3 data points are, the first one, as you just mentioned, Donald Trump expressly told the Proud Boys, stand by. How do we interpret that? Await further orders, right? He recruited them with that message to stand by. He then set the date for the Capitol attack. He told them and others, come to D.C. on January 6th. We'll be wild. And then on January 6th, Zerlina, Donald Trump deployed the Proud Boys. You know, just as if we were watching an old Civil War movie, I guess the first Civil War. And when somebody says charge, Donald Trump told the Proud Boys to charge. He'd said, go to the Capitol, fight like hell or you won't have a country anymore. Go down there and stop the certification, though Donald Trump used the word steal. Stop the steal. So I maintain that, you know, the seditious conspiracy charges that were just brought against Enrique Tarrio, the head of the Proud Boys, and 4 other members of the Proud Boys, you know, it's a sign of things to come, because the de facto leader of the Proud Boys, Donald Trump, has not yet been indicted, but he does bear responsibility.
One of the pieces there I want to pull out and threads is this idea that there was some sort of organization, right? So the seditious conspiracy is alleging that there was like coordination and planning and meetings, and that's part of what we're going to see in the first batch of witnesses called. One of them is a documentarian who was following the Proud Boys before, during, and after the attack on the Capitol. And part of the indictment also detailed the fact that there was planning in terms of, you know, where to be the day of the January 6th insurrection in terms of trying to, you know, obstruct law enforcement in really specific ways. That was one of the new details that I saw and noticed and took note of in the indictment. So speak to the narrative of what happened here as it relates to the coordination and planning of the Proud Boys and how that could come to light in a much clearer way based on the testimony we're going to hear this week.
Yeah, Zerlina, like you, I was really interested to see the new reporting indicating that the J6 hearings will open on Thursday and will include, among other things, information about the Proud Boys planning. And, you know, then we see at virtually the same time the Department of Justice have a grand jury return indictments against the Proud Boys for a seditious conspiracy. I cannot believe that's a coincidence. I have to believe that the investigative team working with the J6 committee, a team that consists of almost exclusively former federal prosecutors who have expertise in things like RICO prosecutions, public corruption prosecutions and violent crime prosecutions. I have to believe there's some coordination between the J6 investigative team and the Department of Justice. So, and here's the other thing that I think we should keep an eye out for. We're going to look for evidence of the connective tissue between the Proud Boys and Donald Trump. Who do we know has been connected to both the Proud Boys and Donald Trump? Well, Roger Stone, for one. We've already seen evidence of that. So I think we may begin to hear more about how the Proud Boys are connected to the Trump campaign, to the Trump administration, and to Donald Trump himself. And Roger Stone may end up being one of those go-betweens, because let's never forget that Roger Stone lied to Congress, was charged with 7 counts, was convicted on all those counts, and was sentenced to 40 months in prison. And at his sentencing, and I was attending that proceeding, Judge Amy Berman Jackson said, Defendant Stone, you were not convicted for standing up for Donald Trump. You were convicted for covering up for Donald Trump. So I think these hearings will begin to show us evidence of that connective tissue between the Proud Boys and Donald Trump.
Roger Stone. I believe his nickname is the Forrest Gump of American politics. And that is for a reason, because he shows up in Watergate, he shows up in Bush v. Gore, the Brooks Brothers riot down in Florida, and here he is again, after being involved, as you said, in that Mueller investigation. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see how these hearings unfold. Glenn Kirshner, thank you for being here and for helping us break down the new charges. Please stay safe. Hi, I'm Zerlina Maxwell. Thanks for checking out our channel on YouTube. You can see more from Zerlina by clicking any of the videos on this screen, and make sure you subscribe below to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. Thanks for watching.